Hello guys, it's Clormo with another Loyo Project tutorial. Today I'm going to be talking about the Alchemy effects, giving an overview of that. This is the last section of the Alchemy instrument, so after I'm done with this, done with the Alchemy series, and like I said in 2 videos ago, if I'm not mistaken, then the rate of videos in English is going to go down so I can get up to speed with the Spanish Alchemy series, and then from that point onward, then it's gonna be basically one topic that I'm gonna cover a week for at least for the rest of the year, just to also get a break. I've been going very hard with all this, all the videos that I'm trying to put together in the Alchemy series. So it's gonna be one topic, English and Spanish versions, and then the rest of the content I'm gonna be putting then the poetry and the beats and some beat making videos too, and the sound design workshop that I'm gonna prepare is probably gonna be something that I heavily do next year or at more closer to the end of the year, because like I said, I want to take also a break between planning what exactly is going to come out. But anyway, I'm going to give an overview into the effects section. Hopefully it's going to be a shorter video, so then in the next videos I'm going to expand upon those sections. And as usual, if you're watching one of my videos for the first time or you haven't subscribed yet for some reason, I invite you to hit that subscribe button, like, dislike, comment. You know where to find me. If you don't, then pay attention to the description of the video and also different graphics and different social media icons that are there in the graphic, so you know where to find me. And you can also contact me there for anything that you may need or that you may want, like beats, right? So now I'm jumping into Logic Pro X. So this is the effects section and can only be seen in the browse and advanced views, same as with all the other sections down here that we have seen: the performance and the arpeggiator and then the effects. So the Alchemy effects section has a multi-effects processor with 5 independent effects racks. You have your main, and then A, B, C, and D, which is obviously tied to the sources, so you have control over those as with many of the parameters that we have seen already. Each rack lets you insert a chains of effects. That means that the signal is going to flow from top to bottom of each track or each rack going through the effects. So as you add effects down the rack, right, the signal flows from top to bottom, so you're creating a chain of effects. The effects order is in each rack matters, and that chain will have a different result if you change the order around of the effects that you have on it. So for individual sources, you're gonna have post source filters. If you're using them, then you can route them to the A, B, C, and D racks, and then the main filters, which are these guys here, can be independently routed also to all of these effects racks. The output from the effects sections is mixed with the dry output signal from the main or source filter modules, which are again this over here that we have discussed in previous videos. So that's going to happen before that all that information is sent to the Alchemy main outputs. So for each effect loaded in the effects rack, there's going to be a corresponding control panel shown in the area to the right. So we go from top to bottom of the rack, like I said, and left to right in the controls display. So let me just bring something real quick. Acoustic reverb. Then you have the acoustic reverb own set of parameters and options that you can set in there. It's just bringing this one. You see that a new line was created, and if I decide to add another one, then a new one gets created, and see that with the scroll bar I can see for the main effects I have an acoustic reverb, and then I have a delay, and I can do the same thing for my different sources. So I'm not gonna do it now, right, because I'm gonna be doing a little bit more detail in next videos. But anyway, that's something you need to know. See that with the two effects that I brought, and this is also true for many of the effect control panels, they're gonna have a file button, which if I press it, maybe some of you, if you have been following my videos, may know what to expect. Yes, you have a set of presets that's already preloaded, and there's quite a few of them. There's save, copy, paste, and clear commands that work exactly the same way as with all the other options that we have seen in Alchemy and that we see in many of the plugins and other instruments that Logic has. So you can save your own presets and they're going to be added to the list. You can copy things that you're working on and then pasting them in another effect rack and create presets from there. You can also clear what you have for either for a preset or just default options and just start from scratch. What you also need to know is that each effect will have its own set of controls, like I said, and you'll see what they are once you select one. So even though almost, if not all of them, have a file option and they have some parameters, each one is going to have and interact in a different way. So in this overview, I'm not going to go into that detail. All you need to know is that you select some of them, you're going to have some options, and that you are going to be able to change them as you see fit. So as we go through this last session of the Alchemy tutorial series, you will see that effects can be grouped in 4 main categories, and these are dynamic and utility effects, filter effects, modulation effects, and reverb effects. So having said all that, since there's a few videos on those, so next weekend I'm probably just gonna go with 2 videos instead of 3, just so I can get closer to being matched up in the Spanish version of this series. Then the weekend after that, 2 other videos, and then leave just 1 sole video in the end for me to change stuff around and do some parameter tweaking, and then enter into 1 video per week in English to do some exercises. And by that point, hopefully I am well ahead in the Spanish version that I can at least get very close to being caught up and doing all of that, okay? And the other thing that I wanted to talk about before I'm done is just talk about a little bit about the actual buttons, right? And the rack effect parameters, or the effects rack parameters. So this is your rack. So you, like I said, you have your main A, B, C, and D buttons. It is possible to route the main filter outputs, like I said, and the individual source outputs into the effects rack, into one effects rack also. So you have also the effect on and off buttons. That's simple. If it's on, it's active. If it's not on, then it's going to be bypassed, but it's still there available. It's not off. The different slots then have a pop-up menu like I showed already, and have different things. If you actually want to get rid of one, then you do none, and if I do none, I still keep the strip because I already had something loaded. But if I go again, do none, boom, then I missed all the other ones. Since the Alchemy tries to keep an order, so if I do that again, delay, distortion, and mod effects, or another delay, if I do none for distortion, it's gonna stay there because I have 2 other effects, and Alchemy's thinking, okay, so you had them in this order and I don't want to screw that up for you, so I'm gonna keep that there in case you wanted to swap it. But if you do a none on the top, then the one below, if it's at none as well, it's going to be put to none there and keep, unless you put all of them at none, and then it goes like, okay, so you have nothing. What else? So let me just load something up again real quick. Let me just drag two stuff. You can drag, you see that this little hand, you can drag stuff around and change the order of things. Nothing that complicated. And there's also a file button here. And you have some actual presets for effects, and these are good to start with. They have a pretty good descriptive title on them, so you can also start with those, and you have your typical save, copy, paste, and clear options. And then you have a randomizer, which is a command that obviously randomizes the settings of whatever you have loaded for as far as effects in the rack. So let's say you have put a few more in here for the main, and I go to file, and obviously the scroll bar is gonna let me look at all of them. I can't really, but you can't really zoom because it would be very difficult to see all the parameters. But I go here and do randomize. Boom, it changed all of them, just subtly, didn't do much, but it's a good way also to instead of loading presets, or you can load a preset, right, and then randomize it and just see how that interacts with what you have and what it gives you. So I'm gonna stop the video right here because I just wanted to keep it as an overview and make it shorter, and then in the next few videos I'm gonna explain the different type of effects and go into a little bit more detail actually to a lot of these. So that's gonna take a while. Although I said already that maybe two and two videos in the next few weekends might extend a little bit more. I will try my best not to, so that we don't extend this unnecessarily. But as usual, lots of thanks for all the support that all of you have given me so far. If you can help me spread the word, I will really appreciate it. Remember the webpage is up now, and if you want to buy some beats or download free beats, you can get them there. You can get them on SoundCloud, and hopefully by the time this video is out, also BeatStars and Reverb Nation are going to be linked in the description, and also on the graphic. Probably not on the graphic, but at least in the description. See you in the next videos. Peace out, YouTube.